This is my big announcement, and this is something that in a way I'm happy about because I was accurate. In a way I'm completely unhappy about it because the implications of this are horrifying. The situation goes as follows. I write for a publication called QW Magazine. You can find this at www.qwmagazine.co.uk. It's an online publication out of the United Kingdom. I've been writing for them for, I don't know, probably 6 months or so now. And in January, we ran a story, and it was an article regarding the Christmas bomber. It was called "All They Want for Christmas Is an Inside Job." And in that article, I took a paragraph to detail a little bit who the next Al-Qaeda boogeyman will be now that bin Laden is dead, either because we killed him or because he's been on dialysis for years. Regardless, bin Laden's out of the picture. They need some boogeyman character type to carry on his role. And I was surprised that when I saw this person's name come up numerous times, that nobody even in the alternative media was saying much about it. However, after seeing his name come up on numerous occasions in numerous news stories, even though sometimes the connections were very, very weak, I saw the way that the media was painting this man to be the next Osama bin Laden character. And when he was connected to the Fort Hood shooter, I didn't want to say anything at that point in time because I didn't know for sure. I was like, okay, wasn't a strong connection. Yeah, his name popped up a couple of times previous, but again, they weren't real strong connections. It was just like, okay, he hasn't been proven to be connected to Al-Qaeda at the time, anything like that. But he did, supposedly he champions extremist Islamic beliefs. So, when his name came up for a fourth or fifth time, when the Christmas bomber attack, whatever, took place, I was like, okay, that's enough. This is it. The way the media is painting this guy is the next Osama bin Laden. And this is a man by the name of Anwar al-Awlaki. And I will show you how I actually did go through this and detail this ahead of time in an article that was printed in January. QW Magazine. Bam. January issue, QW. That January issue, QW Magazine. You can see all that. And obviously, it's easy enough to prove that I write for him. There it is. There's the article. All They Want for Christmas Is an Inside Job by Mark Jungwirth. Thank you. This is the deal. In one of the last paragraphs of this article here, as follows, the incident also allows for the further building up of a new chief Al-Qaeda boogeyman in Anwar al-Awlaki. An article at timesonline.co.uk states, there are already informed reports that Mr. Abdul Muttalib met Mr. al-Awlaki during his final weeks of training at an indoctrination for a supposed suicide mission. Another piece from the London Guardian is titled, Al-Awlaki, a new public enemy, and does a great job of making him the new bin Laden. I had a feeling about this when his name came up in the Fort Hood incident, knowing his intimate connection to the alleged Muslim hijackers of 9/11, but he was a few of their spiritual advisor. However, I wasn't sure enough that I wanted to put anything to print at that time, just in case. But, what's the subheadline of the Guardian article? The subheadline is, as reports claim, would-be plane bomber Abdul Muttalib may have met Anwar al-Awlaki, the radical's profile grows. I'm saying that now, almost positively, he is the next bin Laden. One sentence by the author, whether he is alive or not, his status has been propelled within a few short months to match that of Ayman al-Zawahiri and the late Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. And that is a fair assessment of how things sit. But this man's name has now come up twice within a couple of months of each other. Al-Zawahiri was referred to by bin Laden's chosen biographer as the real brains behind Al-Qaeda. So with bin Laden widely presumed dead and Zarqawi certainly dead, the United States needs a new Al-Qaeda poster boy. Interesting, isn't it? It's like a bad horror movie. The evil supervillain Osama bin Laden has been defeated and or assumed dead, so they need a new supervillain to take his place. And who better to do that than the spiritual advisor of the religious extremist hijackers who were allegedly commanded by bin Laden himself, responsible for the biggest false flag terror attack in U.S. history? Nobody. So keep your eyes on the news for more al-Awlaki related terror occurrences. There will most likely be many more typical anti-American, pro-Islamic extremism comments that come from him as well, which will sell his evil character further to the world, as was the case with his predecessor. There you go. That's what I said in January. He will be the next bin Laden. And what happened on April 6th? Well, none other than the New York Times on April 6th published an article. Headline of the article, U.S. approves targeted killing of American cleric. I'll let you take a look at that headline here. New York Times. U.S. approves targeted killing of American cleric. The article goes as follows. The Obama administration has taken the extraordinary step of authorizing the targeted killing of an American citizen, the radical Muslim cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, who is believed to have shifted from encouraging attacks on the United States to directly participating in them, intelligence and counterterrorism officials said Tuesday. Mr. al-Awlaki, who was born in New Mexico and spent years in the United States as an imam, is hiding in Yemen. He has been the focus of intense scrutiny since he was linked to Major Nidal Malik Hassan, the army psychiatrist accused of killing 13 people at Fort Hood in November, and then to Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib, the Nigerian man charged with trying to blow up the Detroit-bound airliner on December 25th. American counterterrorism officials say that Mr. al-Awlaki is an operative of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, the affiliate of the terror network in Yemen and Saudi Arabia. They say they believe that he has become a recruiter for the terrorist network, feeding prospects into plots aimed at the United States and at Americans abroad, the official said. It is extremely rare, if not unprecedented, for an American to be approved for targeted killing. A former senior legal official in the administration of George W. Bush said that he did not know of any American who was approved for targeted killing under the former president. But the Director of National Intelligence, Dennis C. Blair, told a House hearing in February that such a step was possible. We take direct actions against